Hi, everybody. It's Saturday, December 16th, 2023. Good evening. Welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. We're the only show that combs through early betting patterns, tells you exactly where you might want to steer clear of early public opinion. Today, we've identified 3 NFL games for Sunday where I think early public betting figures are a little bit misguided. So we're going to try to put you on a different path to go the other way and hopefully cash some tickets. And we've made one little change to the show where I'm going to do these videos a day in advance, and not quite a full day in advance, but way in advance, so you can get these up. You know, sometimes in the mornings where I'm the most busiest, I can't get them up as soon as I would like to. So I want to make sure that you have these in time. I want to make sure that we maximize the amount of views that we potentially could have. So we're going to try to get these up earlier. Also involved with every video that I put up is going to be a number segment where you can use some of the information that we give you to handicap your own games. I think that's important to have information that you can take. And maybe the games that we talk about are not the games you want to be involved in, but maybe I can give you a piece of information that you can use to handicap your own game. So we're going to do that as well. After the show, go to Pickdawgz.com where you can find my top 3 NFL selections for Sunday. You get all 3 for one low price of $54.99. This package comes with our Pickdawgz win guarantee that says you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. And of course, that wasn't necessary again last night after another winning college basketball card on Pickdawgz.com brings my college basketball record to 73-49. That is documented every single day on Pickdawgz.com. That, of course, is over the last 30 days plus 1,870 units of profit. Good for number one overall. And if you need in that span in 30 days, and if you need more reasons to join me starting tonight or whenever you've seen this video, here's some more reasons that you should be a part of what I'm doing. Of course, we talked about this before. I'm the number 1 college football handicapper on the website with 57% winners, 1,745 units of profit. And of course, this is prior to Saturday's results being final. So if you go on the website, the numbers are off a little bit, or maybe I'm hurting myself. But regardless, these are the numbers as of doing the video. 56% NBA winners in 2023 plus 1,023 units. 56% winners in college basketball plus 1,250 units. Number 1 with a minimum of 110 plays. Overall, in the last 7 days, I've hit 57% of my selections plus 647 units of profit. 59% NBA winners over the last week, 65% college basketball winners over the last week. And if you want to stretch that out to 30 days, overall in the last 30 days, that means every sport for my all access customers, 56% winners, 2,201 units of profit. And of course, that's good for number 1 over the last 30 days. And that also includes 58% winners in the NFL, 63% winners in college football, 56% winners in the NBA, and 60% winners in college basketball. That is just over the last 60 days. And of course, if you want to stretch it out even further, over the last 90 days, we have to go to college football because the other sports haven't been playing for 90 days. But college football, over the last 90 days, 59% winners plus 1,800 units. So for better or worse, I always let my numbers speak for themselves. Right now, they're speaking pretty loudly, and I don't really see a reason if you're going to choose a handicapper why I wouldn't be amongst those that you would select. All the records are updated hourly on Pickdawgz.com. That's really all that needs to be said about that. So to become an all-access customer, go to Pickdawgz.com where I have my 30-day and my 90-day all-access pass. And thank you to everybody who got on board with those on Saturday. We had a massive day on the 30-day packages and also a good day on the 90-day packages as well. But each one of those is good for less than $100 a month. So there's no reason not to start. We only have a few weeks left in 2023. Well, let's make 2024 our best year forever. So let's get to our Sunday free plays. We're going to start it off at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Game 309 and 310, Chicago Bears versus the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland -3, 37.5 is your total. This play is based upon a line movement that was given us a better number, and that's on the total. We're now getting 37.5. It opened at 36, so it climbed up 1.5. And from a defensive standpoint, the Bears haven't been a team that we can rely on to cash unders this year. But notice Chicago has done a much better job, especially over the last couple weeks, of getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. That's always been their problem early on, or one of the main problems that they've had. Much better at that over the last 2 weeks. And even a little bit before that, too, you could kind of see the evolution of that pass rush. The Bears have 11 sacks in their last 5 games, and even though obviously they're dealing with injuries on that defensive line, some major injuries as well, they're finding a way to get pressure. And if they can do that, I think they're going to make some noise as far as the team is concerned. Maybe not over 500, but when we're betting on totals, we want to make sure that we have 2 defenses that we can kind of lean on and rely on. And if they continue that trend, I think that we can. So we're going to go under the total of 37.5. Now, I would say wait, because it looks like this number continues to grow. So if we can get a 38, 38.5, 38 is a possibility. I think 38.5 is a little far-fetched, but shop for those numbers. I mean, 38 is not out of the question. It is continuing to move up. If you feel good about 37.5, you can lock it in. I feel good about that, so we're going to use that number. Game number 2, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Game 313, 314, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers -3.5, 42.5. We see 95% of the money coming in on the under, which is probably just small money. A lot of times it doesn't indicate everybody in the world is on the side, but it looks like it's just kind of small money. The number on this is only dropped a half point, which is another clue that it's small money. It's not respected money, so we don't have to worry about too much being on the side for or against professionals in this one. It looks like it's all square money on this one. This one opened at 43. We're down to 42.5. And we know what we're likely to get with Jordan Love. He plays extremely well at Lambeau Field. He has at least 20 completions and 1 touchdown in all 6 of his home games this year. And on the other side, well, we're looking at Baker Mayfield that he's been spotty in his career at best at Green Bay, although weather will not be a factor as it hasn't been in his previous 2 starts. And by the way, Baker Mayfield, when he's played Green Bay in the past, which is 2 other times, he's also played them in December. So he's not going into Lambeau Field and he's going to get ambushed by the weather there. He knows exactly what it's going to be. And speaking of weather in Green Bay, lots of rain Saturday night. Looks like tomorrow is going to be clear, but it's going to be clear and it's going to be cold. So it's going to be in the high 30s, low 40s, looks like about the temperature on kickoff. But good thing is no precipitation is involved in this game. I'm looking at this right now. It looks like high 30s is going to be the likely temperature for this game. So we're going to take over 42.5. I don't think there's anything here that's going to prevent the offenses from having trouble getting up and down the field. Game number 3, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 317, 318. New York Giants, New Orleans Saints. New Orleans -5 and 39. I know the fans of New Orleans are not happy, but I do need to see more from Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito before I feel comfortable putting my money behind him. I know Derek Carr needs more protection, and it's not all about Derek Carr. And believe me, I've watched a lot of Derek Carr games. I've watched a lot on TV, and I've seen a lot in person. And it's not always Derek Carr is a guy that I've said this before. I don't want to go off in a tangent, but I've said this about Derek Carr. There's this intangible that he lacks as a quarterback, but at the same time he has not had protection in New Orleans. So now we come down to the decision of, do you want to put your money behind a quarterback that seems to be progressing, or do you want to put your money behind a veteran quarterback and a team that's obviously still in it to win the division, which is crazy anyway. But if I'm Pete Carmichael, I'm going to make sure that Carr gets the ball out of his hands quickly. I think that's going to obviously help the offense, give him some confidence, which he is so much better when he plays with confidence. When he's feeling down on himself, Derek Carr is not the same quarterback. But I think you're going to see the ball get out of his hands quickly. And honestly, I want to put my money behind a veteran quarterback rather than a guy on the road that's still, I think, proven himself. I know everybody's in love with him, but not for my money. So we're going to take New Orleans minus the points there. So that does it for our 3 games. Go to pickdawgz.com right now. Get involved with one of my many packages, including my NFL 3-pack for $54.99. Get that 3-pack now, or get involved with my 30-day or 90-day all-access pass. That gives you every single one of my selections for one low price. Let's keep on building that bankroll. And before we go, I just want to give you a few numbers to take into account when doing your Sunday handicapping. And the name of the show is Against the Public, but I want to give you an idea of how difficult that is. And we talked about that in previous videos, but especially this season when we break down the numbers in relation to the spread dollar percentages, which means that the amount of dollars, the percentages of the amount of dollars wagered on a game. So when teams, and again, I want to kind of take this myth of go against the public because the public never wins. That is an absolute myth. And here's another number to prove that point. Overall, when teams are getting more than 50% of the money, 50.1% of the money against the spread, the record for the public this year is 102-90, so it's 53.13%, and that's good enough for a profit of 2.64 units. So the public actually is doing extremely well, and that is rare for them to be doing that well. If that holds up, it will be the first time since 2019 that the public will return a profit if that holds up in 2023. So not always, and I look at these numbers and they are really close with win-loss numbers, but usually overall the book wins, especially when it comes to the money and the sides of games. Of course, that's different for totals, but this year the public has done extremely well, so don't blindly just go against the public because the public's been right 53.13% of the time. So to break that down even further, when teams, and this is really interesting, when teams are receiving 70% or more of the money, you would think, okay, now the books are really going to hammer them. No, that's not the case. When teams are receiving 70% more of the money this year, the public's record is 39-27. Good for 59% winners, 8.45 units of profit. So the public has done extremely well. The farther you go up the percentage ladder, the better they actually do. So what teams are getting more than 70% of the public money this weekend? Well, Chicago's getting 86% of the public money against Cleveland. We've seen Tampa Bay's getting 76% of the public money against Green Bay. The Giants 76% at New Orleans. So we have a conflicting opinion in that one. The Rams 74% versus Washington, and Buffalo 87% of the public money versus the Dallas Cowboys. So that does it for that segment. You take that and apply that to your handicapping. Before we go, let's recap our free play. Chicago, Cleveland under 37.5, Tampa Bay, Green Bay over 42.5, and New Orleans minus 5. That does it for today's show. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. I wish you nothing but the best with your wagers on Sunday.